Hey, I
Uh,
wanted to make a
uh,
quick joke.
the killing of those guys and Constantine coming in and things like that. Then we start seeing religion take over. First day, first day supersedes the Sabbath. The Sabbath day, Christmas comes in and supersedes, and so forth. Easter, and they come to change the doctrine thereon after that point, and then here we are, still stuck in those things. So that's why
Hey,
I'm
Salaki.
really attacking that. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, yeah.
Salaki.
Okay, okay. Let
If,
me ask y'all
if,
this. Let me ask the panel this.
Hold up.
What, what? Let me
I
ask this
wanted
real
to
quick.
make
I'm sorry.
before you
Okay,
go
go
into
ahead.
your
Go ahead. Go ahead. My
question.
bad. My bad.
I wanted to make a
My
quick
bad.
joke. In
Okay, my
Second
bad.
Kings, I remember that they found the book of the law. They say Hekiah gave the book to Shaphan and he read it. Right? Can you imagine
Yes.
them saying the book of Joshua? This ain't in the Torah. We ain't supposed to be reading the book of Joshua. What the hell is you doing? This ain't the Torah.
Yeah, I can imagine that, man.
hey,
That's another whole
hey,
that's a whole teaching in itself right there, man. That's tight. That's real good right
that's
there.
exactly what I was just gonna say the same thing
Yeah.
about Paul. Like I just heard him say, like if Paul writings wasn't authoritative, how did it end up in our record? Somebody,
Uh,
somebody held it. They had authority with somebody.
What if it
How
was
did it end up in the
Constantine?
same book as Moses? Huh?
What if it was Constantine,
Constantine
Marshall?
wasn't in control. Constantine wasn't in control of that.
Who
Constantine was
was it?
the Israelite
Somebody
scribe,
give me
our reference.
somebody somebody give me the somebody give me the history on that. When was those writings added?
okay,
Because we
okay.
talking about the
Who or
I'll
what
Sabbath
say
day in
writings added?
25.
I'll
All right,
say I'll say to that.
Paul words was written.
Go ahead.
I ain't talking about
Hey,
when
you
it was
gonna get a
written.
history or you gonna
I ain't talking about when it was
so what you
written.
mean
I'm
the
talking
history?
about when it was added to the Old Testament.
Exactly. 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 That's the point right there. So what I'll say to that is that there's tons of history, man. Not just you got some from Josephus, the Herodian around that time, or the other guy, and some top first century historians that'll explain that and build upon that. But this was a major turning point when Constantine, around that time, man, could be a little bit before then. The Sanhedrin was still in in uh, in the positions of authority, but you got to remember now, the governing power over them is Rome. So the information I read upon was it made it seem like in order to bring this new thing
Listen,
together, now
Paul
you got
writings was
the
added
Rome. Yeah,
way before Constantine.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Way
I'm saying,
before Constantine.
huh?
Paul writings was
What?
added way before Constantine.
Okay, okay. Now that you said that, now I want to show me a doctrine. This is what I'm trying to say. When the canonization of the New Testament, the 27 books, show me a document that will tell you it was canonized before the second century. Now, I'm not saying he didn't write the letters. I'm not saying he didn't write those letters before then. I'm saying add it and put together with all the other 26 letters and mix with the Old Testament. The the
All
the the
right,
the, the
first of all, listen, the establishment of the canon came after the establishment of Christianity, the Christian church, which wasn't established as a religion in the Roman Empire until 325 AD. There goes your date right there. That's when they
okay.
start adding the structure and all of that stuff. So it's
Okay.
really
Okay.
like
Yeah,
common
I
sense.
agree.
You could add up a
No, no,
timeline.
no, 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 no. I agree with that. With that date, that date is associated with Constantine. You know that, right?
Constantine was the
That
one that called the council to establish it.
Constantine is what?
Yes, Constantine established it. Constantine, it got established under Constantine's authorities. Under
Okay.
Constantine's
Okay.
authority, it got established.
Okay. Around that time, you're right. But so you have the council sitting there. You have these are leaders there also. So I would say he was the
The
influence.
council was held by all of the. He went to all of the. All he consolidated. That's what the council was
No,
about. They
there we go. There
consolidated
we go.
all of the pagan leaders, and they was like, "Listen, this is how we gonna do this." Because before they was all over the place with the customs and and the religion, how they was gonna do the stuff. Christmas was
Yeah,
Saturnalia, when they used to do all of the,
Saturnalia. That's
they
right.
consolidated everything, used the Bible to push it. So they had to find out how they was gonna do it. And
Okay.
under Constantine's authority, all of the religious leaders came together, had the council, and when they used the Bible to push it, established Christianity as the official religion of the Roman Empire. That was way 320 after the third century, 325 AD. So when you say show
Oh,
you where it was done before the second century, there you go, right there. It was done way after.
okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it was done
That's what
way
I'm.
before the establishment of Christianity. And I'm
Okay.
answering your question and Kazak's question by saying that right
Okay. 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 Look.
there.
This what I'm saying. Okay. That's a good point. But look. So I'm saying when I said show me the document where these letters are going to be the letters that we use. Let's say we're in the council where we say we're going to use these 27 letters and mix them with the Torah, with the Old Testament. I'm saying that date is exactly, that's why I mentioned Constantine before I asked the question about the second century. So we agree on that date. But I'm saying the doctrine that added to the point to where we're replacing the first day with the Sabbath day and things like that, those things were not practiced until that time, right around the second century or so, right around the time they made the canon.
What
You can
was it
see
practice? What was it
of
practice?
the first mixing Christmas and the pagan holidays with the written, the
Oh, right, right,
traditional.
right, right,
Yeah, that's what I mean. That
right,
that
right.
that those things were happening because the western side of the Roman Empire was taking heavy blows, and the eastern side was too. So those things weakened the things, and to bring people
Now, at
together.
that time,
That
now, listen, at that time, at the time of Constantine, that was one of the trivia questions the other day. I don't know if y'all was around,
okay,
but we had did a trivia. And remember, I had answered that question. At that time, the Roman Empire was split into two. At one time, it was four. It was a government. I forgot what they used, but I know it was tetra. It was split into four. But at the time that Constantine was in charge, his side was the only side that was still standing. The western part fell first under Septimius Severus when
exactly,
he overthrew it.
E- e-
So that fell first, and that's what began the Dark Ages at the fall of the western
exactly.
half of the Roman Empire. So when the second part had that was the only part that was standing. That was the eastern part, and it was originally being ran under a guy named
So
Byzan. And that's why the
okay,
name of the land was called Byzantium. When Constantine came behind him, he the one changed it to called the land Constantinople, and it was called
Constantine.
Enrique called himself Emperor
yeah,
Constantine. Then it was actually Rome, but they would call it the what's the name um, um, like people would just call it constant, like Constantine or Constantinople, but it actually was the Roman Empire. It was the last part
okay,
that didn't.
okay. Okay, look. Around the time we agreed on that date, when you have the Roman Empire being attacked, these things, they're like you admitted, there's time spans, and this what I'm telling you, the political move for him to do at that time was to mix things in because he knew that these things were happening to each the west and the eastern fronts. Now these things stretched over hundreds of years. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying the information I read pointed out that was this political move in mixing his pagan ways
Right,
into the ways of the Jewish
right.
people. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that
No,
was the
no,
turning
no,
point.
no. It wasn't just the Jewish people. It wasn't just. It wasn't just Jews. Like it was everybody. It was everybody. Like he had the pagans. Like
When you
he had the origin of the pagans. Like it was everybody. But it wasn't just a black thing. Uh,
no, 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 no. When I
Constantine
when
was
I say
just in charge.
no, no, no. When I say the Jewish people, I'm talking about the Old Testament. Their practice. I'm saying when he done that, that was when the turning point for him to start mixing things in and bringing the Jewish world within his providence, within his place of authority and his
But you
normal
got to
people.
remember, But you got to remember, Christianity is a hybrid religion. It's like
You
you
said
can't
what?
say that he mixed in the Jewish. It's a hybrid religion. It
Look.
incapacitates every belief system. Everything is in
I
there.
know.
They celebrate everything in there.
I know, but the main things that we're talking about when I say that the day of the week was turned by way of Rome, the Christmas, all these pagan holidays, none of them come by no other empire but Rome. Now, I'm not saying no other
Right.
influence of thought was a thought of belief was around then. It was tons of them. I'm saying the things that we practice today come from Rome. That's what I'm saying. And we started a conversation about the things that got us thinking about Paul's letters and things like that. All of that
Yeah, you're
whole
right. You're
teaching
right.
comes from Rome. Yeah, that all that comes from Rome. All of it.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's what got us like
But
this, man. So that's why we got to work together,
every
y'all, to
time
to
you
to
look
to
into the
undo this
history,
thing.
every time you look into the history, and you look at when this book was written, or when this move was made, or when that in the history, there will never be an exact date when it comes to the scriptures,
I
because they
agree with
all
that.
took time. They was done by
I agree with
they was
that.
done
I
by
agree with that.
right. It was done by scribes, and they had to come together, and all this stuff like that. Like there was no one.
Damn
Like
good
when you
point.
look up, so when you look at something like the Gospel of Matthew, Luke, and John, and all that, it would always
Yeah,
say in between 90 and 100 A.D. You know what I'm saying? When you look up Paul
good
writings, it would
point.
always say
That's right. That's right.
in between 50 and 57 A.D. You know what I'm saying? It would say
Yeah,
in
yeah,
between this time period it was done. But it
yeah.
ain't
It's
gonna
given
say
that
this right here because it was a group, like it was a
yeah,
collaborative effort before they was put together.
exactly.
Because it's like it ain't just no one person that's doing it.
What?
Yeah, I agree with that. So that gives room
Yeah,
for
that was
Wait a
error.
minute,
never
wait a
no.
The
minute, wait a
scholar,
Hold
minute,
up,
wait a
hold
the
up,
minute,
hold
wait
scholar
a
is
up,
minute,
giving
hold up,
room for
hold
wait a
error.
up.
minute,
Somebody got
wait
to
a
Okay, go ahead. Go
minute,
ahead.
somebody got
Go
to
wait a
ahead. Go
put
ahead.
it.
minute.
Go ahead.
So you saying it was a group of people that wrote the Gospels?
I'm
Is that what
saying
y'all
in
saying?
establishing it. Listen, I'm
Yeah, well, I
saying it was
understand the
an
council,
established.
but I'm talking about right the actual gospel being written.
You think one
No,
person
no, no, no.
wrote Matthew, Mark, Luke, and
I
John?
know one
Ain't
person
one.
wrote it. I know one person wrote it.
What, Matthew, Mark? Can you show that? That's
Yeah,
absolutely
I
wrong.
ain't got no problem showing it.
Hey, wait. Let me make sure I understand. You saying that one person wrote the whole New Testament, or each
No,
individual person
I'm
wrote
talking about.
each letter?
I'm talking about the Gospels. I'm talking about the Gospels.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, right?
Yes.
Okay, four individuals for four letters. If I'm not mistaken, the brother is agreeing that four individuals wrote wrote each one personally, like that.
That's what you saying,
That's what That's what I'm
Paul?
saying. Yeah. I'm
Oh,
saying
nah,
they
that's what I'm
wrote
saying
them.
too. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Matthew
saying.
wrote his.
Yeah,
That's what I'm. I'm
Look,
saying
I'm
the
saying.
same thing.
Hold on. Let me make it clear.